Hi, how y'all doing? It is Thursday, the 4th of May, 2023. Skies in Ontario, Canada are cloudy and gray, just a wee bit of sun. Here, I'll show you. Right? It's been raining off and on all day here, all the rising. So, my soul's so happy. It is. It knows this shit show is like getting its roll on. It's rolling, right? Everything I'm seeing, and I'm getting little hints on everything. It's beautiful. Okay? Yeah, they're getting the Bidens. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you watch. It's going down. If you're watching MSM, they're going to make it look the opposite way. Right? But check out Fox News. See what they're saying. They have short little clips on YouTube. Right? I know it's part of the show. But this movie part's gotta come out and get over, alright? It really does. And, like, there's so many signs that stuff is getting right, that it is right, okay? The guy I drive around in his truck, right? I'm his driver, chauffeur, whatever. He wanted to hang out with me for a little bit this morning, have a cup of tea, and smoke a J, right? So I was like, alright, you know what I mean? So I had him in, and instead of listening to his 3D talk, because he's double jabbed, right? I put a show on YouTube about electroculture, right? The old way we used to garden without fertilizer. I've been telling people to use copper tools for a while, and calcium from eggs. Save your eggshells, right? Put them in the oven for just a little bit on low. Get them crunchy, crunch them up, and put them in your garden, in your soil, on top of it. You do it in your houseplants too. They love that stuff, okay? But people are starting to see it now, so they don't listen to me because I don't have any ABCs behind my name, right? Yeah, I didn't get educated in their misinformation schools, but I learned for myself, and I know it's the truth. And copper, that's all you need, a spool of copper. Craft copper, they sell it over at Canadian Tire for crafts. I'm going to buy some as soon as I get it. I don't like going into that satanic company, but it's the only place in my hometown where they sell it, so I guess I'm going to have to bite the bullet and take a gander over there, right? Yeah, for sure. So it's a beautiful thing. It's shaking up. I just watched a video, Sweden's leaving the UN because of the immigration pact they had to be in with the UN. But if you have been paying attention, the UN and NATO have been taken over by the White Hats, so ain't nice. So it's just a show, right? Everything's being broken down, coming down. And if you're paying attention to Canadian politics, right, don't. Because, well, you can if you want, but it's a waste of time. Because I've said this before in my videos, that whatever happens in the United States always happens in Canada, okay? Because before we got invaded by the governments, it was all one continent, okay? We had all the same. It was all the same. There was no border, nothing. Same with Mexico, the continent of America, North America, okay? It's all one continent. So it's just a shit show. They're like different landlords, you know what I mean? The President of the United States, the President of Canada, or, you know, Prime Minister of Canada crap, right? That's all they are. So whatever happens in the United States is a sign to me that's going to happen in Canada soon. And things are falling apart big time in the United States. Well, the pieces are being put together by the good guys in the United States. And the bad guys are just, yeah, scrambling. They don't know what to do. They're going to have to think up some good lies. And wouldn't this be a perfect time for a fake war, nuclear war? Or hence the drone in Russia hitting the Kremlin? And if you take a good look on that video, it doesn't look like it's big enough to be a drone that has a weapon on it. And if you look at it really well, there's two guys walking up the side of the dome. Why would they be up there? What were they doing? Right? It's all PSYOP. it's a theater of war. It's not really war. Do you get it? It's pretend. Okay, they gotta make it look like it. So that's another good sign. So that could be a fake Russian or a nuclear war, or it might be the dumb fucks might decide that it's a good time for a fake alien invasion, right? But the aliens said that they wouldn't allow that to happen. And Project Bluebeam has been taken over by the good guys. So, I gotta work this one out, right? You gotta think like war. How would you use that against your enemy if you use the same, you have to use the same tactics as they do. Because that's how they win, so why wouldn't you use their tactics? You just wouldn't do it the same way they would, because they like fires and suicide and murder and all that, right? You'd have to, I don't know, see, I always hated war, so I didn't learn about it. I've always just been in love, and I was too busy for 30 some odd years raising 6 children, and being a nanny to one, and having another boy that his mother passed as a young man in my home, and helping him survive, and trying to show him, not trying, but showing him love through kindness, So I had my hands full. I didn't have time to learn all this stuff until 2020, when we got all hunkered down. I found out about the satanic shit, all the actors, pedophile, adrenochrome stuff, and then I stopped watching TV altogether and listening to the news altogether. I couldn't bear it. It made my stomach sick. It still does to see these actors in movies, right? I look at them and think, are you a pedophile? Do you hurt little kids? You realize when this war's over, we are going to have millions of children to look after, right? Because the ones that have been underground, some don't even have mothers. They were raised probably in incubators, test tube babies, right? Just so that they could be part of their sacrificial shit. And like all the ones that were kidnapped and they whacked their parents and stuff from what so-called third world countries. There's going to be a lot. They found so many, right? I wonder if I'll have a chance to be a mom again. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would to me, right? Something I always thought I would enjoy is working and owning an orphanage to make sure that the children are loved, to teach them empathy. And now I know so much more about being a Heyoka shaman. I could teach them about energy and their dreams and all kinds of stuff. I don't know, it's just an idea. I probably need the med beds though first, so that I could get the energy back to deal with a bunch of, children. But yeah, I think I would love that. I would. I think that would be pretty cool, because I love children. They're my favorite people. They are. Because they're so innocent and sweet and smart, Yeah. I like to show them music and art and stuff like that. Alright, you can tell I'm excited, right? I can feel it. Can you feel it? I can feel it in my body and the energy. I can. Oh, and the guy, I digress here. The guy, I had him over and I showed him a video on YouTube, and it was about electroculture. And he comes from a farming family, right? He's like 66 years old. And I showed him I resonated with people's information. The first two videos I checked, I didn't resonate, right? One guy was he had ABC's university and all this behind him, and he's saying why it can't work, right? And the next woman, she talked way too fast. She was too young. She was giving her opinions, not facts. And I run on facts. The next one I watched was facts. And it got him right interested in it, and he was like, I'm going to try that. And so I looked up on where to find the wire, the copper wire. So you can use copper or brass. You can even put magnets in the ground that will enhance it as well. But there's probably you'd have to research that more. There's probably a position you'd have to put them in for the ley lines and the North Pole, South, the poles and stuff like that, because it's all magnetic, So yeah, I'll be getting some copper wire. I'm gonna do it. I have a plant in my room that I did it with, right? All you need is a dowel and some copper wire, and you're ready to rock and roll, right? So yeah, if you can afford it, go out and get an extra week's worth of groceries, or whatever you need like that, to make sure that when the EBS, because they're going to have to call the EBS, I'm pretty sure everything's going to be like that, right? They're going to need crowd control stuff. So